now.
Mr. DL.
2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Who's off? I could just lose your mind.
We are here, episode 26 of the Danger Zone podcast.
Yes, sir. And yes, sir, people in the whole whatever. We glad to be here.
Welcome
you know
back. La Zona del Peligro.
Yo, yeah, I'm a Negro. But, yo, and I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Yo, now we here. Big Shug.
Mr. DL.
Chef Tanya Nicole.
You know what I'm saying? And we got a special guest coming through a little later on.
Oh, yeah.
Very excited.
But, you know what I mean? What's going on? What's good? What's happening?
Man, we got some juicy subjects to talk about today. We got let's start with let's not go into it crazy. Let's start with Kodak Black first. What's going on, Kodak Black? You know I like me some Kodak Black.
I just heard recently that Kodak Black, when he came, I think he was released from jail.
Yep, saw that.
Had I guess it was a 50 grand bill or what have you. Well, when he was released from jail, they mistook him for Flava Flav. Now, the crazy shit about it is, I mean, we know Kodak Black got the wild hair and all that shit. He'll do some different hairstyles. But damn, they said that he was mistaken for Flava Flav.
They're like 2 decades apart.
Yo, the only thing that worse was that.
Maybe 3. Probably 3.
Like
I think he's a young kid.
Yes.
Probably 25 or something.
The worst thing, though, about that was more worse than that, them thinking he was Flava Flav, was when somebody thought it was an accountant that Premier Guru had. And
That who had? I'm sorry, Big Show?
Premier Guru.
Premier Guru.
And
Ever heard of him?
and he
Here comes the corn.
he thought that Premier, he called Premier Run.
Oh, wow.
Run. And they both his account. He said, I'm not Run. So sometimes some people
Wow, I'm trying to even just see. I'm picturing them both, and I'm just like, wow.
That even, you know what I mean? You know, I guess if they're moving fast as hell.
Like I can see calling DMX DMC, or you know what I'm saying? Not even on looks, just on the name DM. Boom, you know what I'm saying?
You're saying your name and something
so
else comes out.
he's saying that this figure, he thought you would Run. That he's seeing you and hey, Run. You know what I'm saying? Run. Shit.
Have you ever been confused for? Does anyone think your name is Gangstar?
No. The only
or you know what I'm saying? Or Primo is like, yo, someone on the podcast said that.
I've been confused with
Bumpy Knuckles said that.
Yeah, I've been Freddie Fox. Sometimes they think I was Freddie Fox and him me.
Okay, that's fine.
And then I've been accused of being Mr. T.
Oh no.
Back in the day, Mo Vaughn played for the Red Sox.
Oh my God.
Come on, give me a little I pity the fool.
Late night.
No, he'd be like, yeah, I'm Mo Vaughn. I do $100 autographs. What's up?
Here's another one. What's
You
the other
said
one?
Mr. T that
And yo,
back.
and it's crazy because only white people tell me that I look like Mr. T.
I don't know. I can kind of see
Well, I'm
it.
saying they're the only ones who tell me that.
I love me.
You could definitely be in for Halloween, but I don't know if he looks like.
Yeah, I mean,
he'd have to have the
the mohawk.
You know what they're talking? They see a few necklaces, big black dude, and they think he's bigger. He's only like 5'10".
Yeah,
They think that's so. And I always tell them, listen, back up with the card.
I like his America pants. His America pants are dope.
But also, you know who they try to say a lot like here and there, but usually in the suburbs, they poppy.
Oh wow!
Hey, and the way they do it too, they'll ride up with the carriage in the supermarket or walk next to you and go, hey, you know, you really look like. You ever see you look like Big Poppy? And I'm like, no. Right? I really will be like
no, I play English.
Or sometimes sometimes they say shit to me like this. You look like Big Poppy. You probably are him. You don't want people to know. Listen, man, let me tell you something. The things that you hear from people.
You probably are him, but you don't want people to know.
I've heard that more than once about
people. You know he's playing a game right now, right?
I'm like, sure, I'm the oldest Big Poppy for real. But anyway,
shout out to Kodak Black.
Shout out to Kodak Black, man. Flavor. He said they said people were standing around going, yeah, boy. So that was a little rough right there. But
Is it? Flava Flav, like, what? All right. what a weird combination that was.
Well, you know,
Chuck D and Flava Flav. Like when you really break it down and think about like what Chuck D was rapping about was the complete opposite of who Flava Flav was as a person.
You know, it was they were so serious, and he was like he like a lot of some stuff he said. He was the hype dude, but he was the entertainment of it, but. He was actually a little bit more serious than people thought. His character was more jester-like. So it kind of made for like you had the S1s or whatever, the troop, and then you had what's the other? You had Flav, and you had Chuck. I'm the one again. Give me some chips again. What I'm just saying. Right? That's what I'm saying. You had that hard shit. They was with that marching shit like that. Yo, and then Flav, hey boy. But what's so dope that you say that is so I go to one of them throwback hip hop shows, EPMD, Rakim, all of them, right? And then Flav, Public Enemy is last. Yo, Flav plays about three or four of the instruments. He got on the drums and was playing for real.
That's
and
cool.
then he was playing the bass.
Yep.
Right. Then he played the horn. This is right at this show, so I never knew. He was that though. I never knew. I was
he's
like
musically talented.
So
it wasn't just rap.
Then I seen that behind the music shit, and it showed that when he's a kid, he learned to play a bunch of instruments. So a lot of times people, because they seeing the gesture of him or you know the jovial Flava Flav, they don't think that this dude is a trained, smart ass dude that can play shit like same as the damn near like D'Angelo. So, but
D'Angelo.
No boy.
I don't think he'd be saying that now.
Shit, he's just a little bigger, shorter, but bigger.
Shorter?
That's that bullshit, Biggie.
How to get shorter?
I don't know. You get wider, you get shorter, man. You know.
So, what's going on, NBA YoungBoy? You just told me, and I already forgot.
Going on tour after beating a federal gun charge. You know, and he just wants to probably attack the road. But you know, shout out to NBA YoungBoy, man. You can beat these situations. We gotta remember, man. Even some people want to have 1 foot in. These young fellas too, and 1 foot out, man. Like once you step into this side, man, and succeed with this music, you got to leave that shit back. Because man, this rap shit is dope, but ain't nothing dope about it if you gotta do 65 years. So I'm good. What else you got, Clyde?
Man,
I'm gonna tell you this one time, Ross. You better stop fucking playing with me, man.
I spend more money on my cow's hooves than you spend on your wife.
You probably right, nigga. Cause I ain't bought our quarter, nigga. Stop talking about money, man. Cause money don't unlame a lame, nigga. There's a lot of sucker-ass niggas out here with money and you on the list. Matter of fact, you the captain of the Suckers with Money Association of America, nigga. And we ain't impressed. So mind your business.
I got the ice electric blue bottle.
It wasn't.
I just want to.
Yo, the crazy thing about it to me though, the whole shit is like, so Gillie, man, Gillie is a funny dude.
Hell yeah.
If you watch his other shit, I mean, he's a character, you know, probably the realest nigga around and real motherfucker, but he has some humor in his shit. It's, you know, so even his facial expressions and shit, like the motherfucker's like,
it's hilarious.
You be like, listen to this dude, and he's like, I just bought a cab.
Deep ribs for the hood. Remember that? When you used to go to work, you tell niggas to lock it in. Then you come home, you change your uniform, you put your hat on backwards, and then you go in the studio and be a drug dealer, kingpin rapper.
Now, here's the crazy shit, because dude,
the blue bottle.
He got money. You know, we know he got money, man. So his flashback is going to his little
You talking about Ross has money?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like how Gillie just said, he's like, dude, just lame. Money doesn't unlame you. Like, you're still lame. He goes, you're the president of the lame motherfuckers of America.
But do you know of what's his name? Steven Spielberg is lame?
Is Steven Spielberg lame?
We don't. I don't know.
Probably. I mean, we'd think he was lame. He's Steven Spielberg. I think he's the GOAT, but he's probably lame. We probably wouldn't want to hang around with him.
That's the only reason why I'm saying that is because that might be true. You can't unlame a lame. But these motherfuckers living their life.
Yeah.
Do what they want to do. What can we do? I mean, people are who they are. I mean, you know, I just thought it was hilarious. Just the monologue, the dialogue. I'm saying that
he's hilarious.
That shit had me fucked up.
It was like like a set. Like that was as funny 3 minutes as any comedian clip
Say
of it,
what you want.
and he's just doing it live, like you know what I mean. But
yeah.
he was
This
saying
ain't what you want.
he was speaking his mind, and that's
Said
Yeah.
Rick Ross,
It had
this
heart,
ain't
and
what
it
you
was
want.
funny, so.
what'd you say?
I said it had heart and it was funny, so that made it
Say
even
what?
funnier.
Just say
Yeah.
what.
I'm all for the Rick Ross clowning because I do think he's kind of a fool. Like, yeah, we get it. You got a lot of money. Cool. You know, I got you. You like rosé. It's awesome.
Me personally, I feel like, man, like, let's do what you do, whatever.
How come he never he never has food in his fridge, but he's fat as fuck? Every time he opens his fridge, it's just full of liquor.
Well, I was
that-
like J-Lo got married.
Oh yeah, J-Lo going for them Tom Brady numbers.
And,
She got more rings than Tom Brady.
What can I say his name?
All
All right, Big Sugar. I think
Yeah,
it's.
I'm
Hold on.
watching
Well,
it.
we got a call coming in. Who is this? Who is this?
Friend of the show?
Oh, Slaine. Oh, Slaine. Oh, Slaine.
Wu Family Moving Company. They've been your neighborhood moving company for over 10 years, offering swift, efficient, and stress-free moving. Just call Wu Family Moving at 978-398-2784, online at ROUXFamilyMoving.com.
Yo, episode 26. We here.
The Danger Zone
Danger
podcast.
Zone Park. Me,
La Zona
Big
del
Sugar,
Peligro.
Mr. DL,
And
and
Chef
Chef
Tanya
Tanya Nicole.
Nicole.
We all up in here. And today's we got the special guest. You know what I'm saying? My man 1,000 grand. Slaine. You know what I'm
Really
saying? What's
excited.
good, Slaine?
What's good, fellas? What's good, Shug? What's good, DL?
Glad to have you, man. You know, I'm glad you came through, man, to chop it up with us for a bit, you know. But can you get the people, man, like, you know, some that don't know the Slaine situation, can you give them like a backstory, man? You know,
I've been in the game for 2-3 years now.
well, that's
He's
cool.
brand new.
Because my shit is 4. But go ahead. Well, it's basically for people who don't know, you know what I mean? So that's why I ask all the guests that, you know?
You know, I've been writing rhymes since I was 9 years old. I've been making music professionally for 20-something years now. Everything from solo mixtapes to special teams to La Coca Nostra to, I ended up getting involved in film. I was in Gone Baby Gone in the Town. And then I've done like 13 movies now, I think. I think maybe I've done 15 records or something like that. And been fortunate enough to tour around the world, have a worldwide fan base, and continue to act and do all that good stuff to this day. So I feel blessed. I've never had to work a day in my life, really, because I do what I love to do.
Yeah, that's it.
You've told me this before, but I forget. What was your first rap name?
My first rap name was John Doe. That's what everybody called me when I moved to New York, because I looked like I was dead. And, because I don't really have a very tan complexion, and if I'm getting high, things go south really quickly for me. So everybody called me John Doe. Sometimes if I see people from back in that era too, they'll be like, "Yeah, what up, John Doe? What's going on?" Some people still know me as that, but actually, I was in the studio with the dude Caves from Lords of Brooklyn, and he had drawn up a Slaine logo, and I guess Slaine was an Irish superhero, and he was like, "There's already a couple John Does. I think Busta Rhymes had somebody named John Doe, and Diamond D had somebody named John Doe."
Right.
And it was Slaine from there on out.
Yo, so it's crazy thing with me. I've obviously been a lot of years been in the game and what have you. And everywhere I go over the years, people have always been like, check out, even when it was cassettes and shit, yo, Suge, listen to my tape. Yo, Suge, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, blah, blah. It was like, damn, this dude is really the only dude that I really hear. Like, you came through. So I respect that because there's so many fucking others. And with me saying that, so like, what was your drive like to keep you, at it? Because first of all, we know that it was mostly black sport, so to speak. And then when you're a Caucasian rapper, everybody want to compare you to Eminem and all that, or the challenges are different. So with you, like, what was your drive, or what kept you going to be like, yo, fuck that? Because you came through, dog. Like I'm saying, I got hundreds of thousands of cats.
It's crazy. I can't believe you actually remember that, though, because I remember it well. I was standing out in the rain. I had a leather jacket in the rain, and it was 1998.
Right.
And, it was like 7 more years before you actually seen me, putting it on. So I'm surprised you remember that, and that's dope because like what was the drive? I mean, to me, with all those things you said at that time, it was so difficult. They only allowed like one white dude in at a time back then. It was like, all right,
Right.
wait at the gate. But yeah, I think it was just like, I don't know, man. It was I just had a belief that it was gonna happen. It was the only thing I could really picture my life being. And I always tell people that, like, it really has to. When people say they want to make it in music, my advice to them is always like, well, don't think about the end result or money or fame, because that's very unlikely to happen. But the one thing you know, if you love to do it and you can't picture your life without it, then just do it for that. And then whatever else happens is bonus. You know what I'm saying? Like, because just to be able to make a living off of making music is very rare when you think about people that do.
You already know, man. I mean, you know, and I respect it. I respect it because I'm always like, you know, okay, even us, you know, going on tour and me meeting you, you know, and then like and being like, okay, you with the special teams at this point, you know, that's how we really connected. And we were touring and stuff like that. When you first was that your first time overseas at that point?
No, my first time overseas was like 04. So I think when we went over like 08, right? Something like that.
Something
I think
like that.
Son was just born when we went over. About to be born.
So was that the okay? So when you went before, was it at Slaine or was you with someone else?
The first tour I went to in Europe was with Edo G, and then next I went to Coca Nostra, and then I went on tour as Slaine. So I've been over there in a few different forms. You know?
Okay, yeah. You said a few different forms and shit. And yo, one you was the rock monster. Yo, but it was so dope because like what we do, I remember we went on tour and one of my things was, yo, when we got somebody that ain't been on tour with me, whatever, you know me, jokester slash, let's get down if we got to, rhyme, whatever it was. But I mean, I got that jokester shit too. So I remember, man, we the christening part with me was when we ordered a couple of pitchers of beer and some pizzas and shit, you know what I mean? And then I put it on your number, your room. So you come down next morning. You remember that shit? I did that to so many motherfucking rapper dudes. Like, it's just so much. But it was funny how serious you came down. Like, yo, I done had this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting there, but Ed and all them's like not knowing. Nobody ain't knowing except for me. Cause I'm like, I had beers, you know. And I probably got one of them too. My man JCO too. Shout out to JCO with Cats. You know, that was just like you and my man. Like we all became. You know how tourists like that. Them close knit shits. I became really cool with you behind doing that. You know what I mean? So
yo, you remember when the cook came running out of the kitchen or whatever? Why he had the knife?
Yeah. What the fuck happened?
The tour van, and you got out. Like fucking with the jacket, and you got the knife out of the dude's hand. Jacket.
Why did he come after us though? You remember though?
I forget.
That motherfucker had
That's funny.
He had a big ass knife like this, and then we on some serious. I'm like, oh shit, he really trying to come at us. Yo, you just reminded me.
Probably because I refused to pay for those pizzas on my room bill. That's probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but.
So it was your fault, Big Shug.
No, nobody ate sushi though like Slaine and Jay Saw. Them motherfuckers was like, yo.
So you remember the dude on the plane that I smacked him on the plane?
Yo, you know that thing I spoke on previously? That's what that reminded me of. Cause we're on a plane now. Today, your ass will be all on goddamn
TMZ.
TV.
What happened, Slaine? What did you do?
Oh man, I'm like, and I'm trying to calm him down because I'm like, yo, damn, we're on a plane. And now it's crazy. Like, you know, it's like that.
Wait, Slaine.
What happened, Slaine? What happened? We don't know what happened really.
How did it start, Slaine?
We're not hip.
I think there was a dude, he was being real drunk and disrespectful on the plane. And I'm talking about like sociopath level. Like he was just being a real weirdo. He was in like a blackout or something. And he refused to, you know, he wasn't listening to any sense. And I ended up having to smack him. I don't remember it all that well neither. And I was drinking a little something too. So
yeah, I mean, it's crazy because I remember this shit, and it was like me turning around, and I'm like, oh shit, we on a plane, you know? Because
it was in the air.
Oh nah, we was.
Yeah, it was in the air.
Was it in the air that time?
Oh man.
Oh
He
yeah.
said that time.
Well, we calmed it down though quick enough. Whereas, like, cause trust me, you know how that shit is. They're like, oh, get this down, whatever. So,
to finish with that, they actually thanked me, the staff on the plane, because we were like 2 hours from landing. It was an 8-hour flight, or remember. I do remember this, and the dude was creeping out all the other passengers. He was weirding them out, and then I got in his face. I smacked him. He ended up sitting down and being quiet the rest of the time.
He did.
Se portó bien. He became a good boy.
No, he did sit down. He did continue our shit, but it was just funny to me because I mean I used to be usually I'm the one in some situation like that. So then this dude like the next thing I know I turned around, Tom and Jerry, blah blah blah. I was like, oh, I said, wait a minute, calm down, we good, we gotta get down. You know what I'm saying? So, but you still chopping up with them brothers? You still with special team? Y'all talk or you know?
I haven't seen those guys in a few, man, and you know, I got love for Edo and Jay forever, but seen them in a few.
Oh, okay. So, you got any questions?
Yeah. Do you remember kicking me out of your dressing room in Los Angeles? Oh yeah, you kicked me out for smoking.
Where was that? At the
Whiskey, I think.
What was it? Oh, the Whiskey a Go-Go. Yeah. You know, look, I see some people who are like shaking hands and kissing babies and then walk right out on stage. And like, that ain't me. I'm a lunatic before I get on stage, man. I clear the dressing room. I pace around like a lion. And, you know, I get anxiety before. And I don't even know if it's anxiety. It's adrenaline. You know what I mean? And I'm not talkative. I don't, you know, I get in the zone and then I just want to go out and do my thing.
Yeah. No, I forgot all. I remember that. I was talking to Sugar about it yesterday. You kicked me out for smoking. It was you weren't like wasn't beef or anything, but you were just like, yo, you can't be smoking in here.
You were smoking weed in the backstage area.
Yeah. I was being me.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the room.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you know, hey, I tell you one thing though, right? So as like you spoke earlier about movies and acting, you know what I'm saying? So
gotta tell us how the famous story about how you got into acting.
Well, you know, I was so the Gone Baby's Gone story. So I had just, you know, I was squatting in this warehouse on Shirley Street in Roxbury, and I had no hot water, no electricity in there. Like the way it started off is that we were gonna build a recording studio in there, and this was gonna be a spot to build a label. And you know, things went south because dude was looking at time, and he fell out of the picture. The dude who I was doing the label with, and so I ended up squatting in there, and I was charging my phone at the after hours spot up the street. I left there at 7 a.m. I walked up to the Massey gas station over there. No, there was a Herald story about me that Chris Ferrone had written that day, and it was about La Coca Nostra getting together and all that. But I was still fucked up in the game at that point, even though I was getting a little bit of buzz. And anyways, I went back to that spot on Shirley. I climbed up the ladder to the back of the staging where I had a mattress tucked away in the corner. I read the article in the Herald. I passed out, and I woke up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon with all these missed phone calls, and a lot of them was people that see me in the newspaper, but you know, a lot of them was the casting people and 94.5 and all that for Gone Baby Gone. They called me in to come in and audition for that movie. Rest is history, man. I ended up getting that role, and then you know, Ben put me in the town after that, and shortly after I started touring with La Coca, and La Coca started popping off, and you know, that's like, to me, how I look at that now, that's like a power greater than myself. You know what I mean? That was like, you know, of course, like fortune favors the bold. And I think the universe, like if you have a dream and you're focused on it and you go to any lengths to get it, like the wind will start getting at your back. And that's what happened to me at that moment. But I remember when I was doing the town though, when that was right before, I think we were doing the town, and we had just gone on tour, and I was like, yo, I put the role in this for you, and I gave you a shout after that, right? And you ended up going,
Yeah, what happened was, with that, to be honest, too, I was like, shit, these motherfuckers don't be putting nobody from in the hood in these movies. This is what I said when I would see these movies, and I knew you in the one previously. I was like, whatever, man. And then Peter Dungeon, remember Pete? Well,
Yeah, of course.
Peter Dungeon filmed my video, My Boston, right? And he also said, you had told me that shit was going down. Then he said, because he was working with Carol Pickman. So he was like, yo, all these roles they got down here for this movie, but and I'm feeling that people saying to me like, yo, but you'll get that, like, and I went down there, it was every rapper and his mother that was local, and every, like, even Term was down there, too short for a position, but everybody was there that fucking day, and then I'm saying, damn, everybody's here, but I'm calm, whatever. Next thing you know, I get the call, and they're like, yo, you in this movie, you're gonna be Kenny with the white nose, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, okay, which I thought it was coke, because he was the coke dealer, but it was because he had vitiligo. So the shit got deeper, you know what I mean? But it was dope because I was like, so I knew you were in it, and then I got this role, and then you know how Ben was. Ben was really, really chill dude. Like he was on, like,
That's great.
I told Ben specifically, you got to put Suge in this role. I remember.
Right. Well, did see I
That's dope.
I appreciated that because that set that shit off for me. Like I've been in about 8 since because you know how it is. Like I only be doing those principles. You know what I mean? So when they hit me and they from that town shit, then it was The Heat with Sandra Bullock, then it was Larry David, then it was Black Mass, all, you know what I mean? But it was funny too because I was being a drug dealer in the movie The Town for all those who live on the rock.
With the big
size bag. And when I remember when Ben we was doing the scene and the little dude Jeremy Renner, shout out to him because he was the one to talk to me a lot about what I could be doing in these movies, and Ben was like, they go to the door. They was like, go to the door, sell this. They coming to buy the drugs, blah, blah, blah. Yo, I open up the drug case. They got packages like this, like big ass. I said, listen to Ben. I said, listen, man, you want to be authentic or do you want to,
You making a comedy? That's what you said.
That's some shit. He was like, well, what do you think? I said, dude, the shit you'll never knock on nobody's door and they're going to bring you some shit like this. So the dope thing was how they adjusted everything, and did it. And then Ben had just been on Men's Health magazine.
Yeah, Men's Health.
On the cover, right? looking all in shape, but on the movie, he's smoking cigarettes like a motherfucker, right? So he come up to me and he doing some fake boxing shit, like, yo, shoot, you big, man. I like dudes to be big like me. I said, listen, man, Ben. I said, I'll knock you the fuck out, man. I said, yo, and it's all in fun, but at the same time, let him know, listen.
He was letting know it was a little serious.
I said, that little Men's Health shit, like, dude, come on. Because he was on some shit, like, but he was cool. We talked about the Red Sox, you know how he is. So we talked about mad shit, you know what I mean? So, I mean, it was just so dope because that's our history. I know if I look at Boston rappers in movies, like some legitimate movies and shit, like you the only one.
Yeah,
besides me, you know what I'm saying?
You two are in the skyline.
I mean, legitimate movie, you know what I mean?
Slaine has killed Ray Liotta with Brad Pitt. He has fought The Rock and Kevin Hart. He's robbed banks with Ben Affleck and Jeremy Renner.
Shit.
He has been in some fucking hit movies.
And they're still.
And if you don't know, look it up.
Ben, though, like Ben, the thing I love about Ben is he's made great movies, and that's the reason why, though, because he seeks out the authentic shit, and if something is off, he listens to people in the know about it. Like when we were doing Town, he had all sorts of people in the know, like a lot of the Teamsters even that would drive.
Of course,
you know what I'm saying? So Ben, he's a smart dude, and he's a great filmmaker. He got slept on, I think, because whatever kind of TMZ public stuff he had going on 20 years ago, right?
Right.
So, he's good now.
really a great storyteller. Even the movies after that, like Argo was, I mean, that's a perfect example. Argo won Best Picture, and he didn't even get nominated for Best Director. I don't even think you can find another movie that won Best Picture where the director doesn't get nominated. What part of the game is that? That's like...
But he's been talented since he came in the game, as people forgot. Because that first movie that he did with Matt Damon,
well, that's
like, you know, that's what set it all off. People tend to forget that. And careers go up and down.
When you said the authentic, not to cut you, when you said the authentic shit, like people don't even know them. You remember the dude in the town in the flower shop? He was some real like connected dude. The dude with the big ass nose, he died and shit. Yo, that dude was like, yo, I spoke with that dude. Yo,
he put the hook in her real good.
Yo,
when he's talking about his mom getting hooked on dope.
But that dude, the flower shop.
Pete Postlethwaite's a legendary actor too, man. Like he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for In the Name of the Father with Daniel Day-Lewis. Yeah, rest in peace to him, man. I think he died shortly after that.
Yeah, he did. Because I mean, I talked to like, you know, I picked brains and hung out with motherfuckers. You know how it is when you're on the set, and that dude was like telling me some shit. Like he knew about Boston shit. Like, you know what I mean? That on some real shit. I was like, wow. So he had the right people around too in these movies. You know what I mean? So I'm a motherfucker who's from when the shit was crazy like that. So I was like, wow, they put me in this shit. You're in this shit from Southie. You know what I mean? So it's like it was dope time, man. You know. But,
and the thing when we did Gone Baby Gone, they had the coke bagged up the wrong way, and I was like, this ain't how it be bagged, and I slid it in the corner and I tied it off and I ripped it with my teeth, and I was like, and Ben turns around to the prop people. He goes, make 50 of them.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you got them motherfuckers like this, people is coming in there like, yo, this shit's got to be little and not seen.
Y'all brought the authenticity of the streets and the streets.
No, hey, she about to say like how you said in the movie. Yo.
I'm trying to make the shit sound fucking authenticious. You got it all fucked up.
Authentic what?
Yo,
that's how I got that role. I invented that word in the
she had caught her right there. It reminded me when you said that shit.
What were you gonna say?
You know?
Oh, I was just saying, like, they brought life into art to imitate life. Like, they brought that experience.
What, say that again?
You brought life into art and made it real life, so that people who are from the streets could be like, and it makes them connect to your character.
You know, that's what you got to do. If you have any. First of all, if it's not a comedy, like Clear History was a comedy.
Yeah.
So, of course, I'm going to be on some silly shit, like how they want it, Larry David. Well, if it's some other shit, yo, I'm going to give it to you like that. That's Slaine. You always sell those parts. You always fit right in, man. Respect on that. Have you been doing any movies lately or?
I just did one 2 weeks ago. I just got back from shooting a movie in Tulsa, and I do some gangster shit with Frank Grillo. Scott Conn wrote it, James Conn's son. Rest in peace to James Conn.
Yeah,
man.
James too, man. He just wow.
Liotta, Ray Liotta.
All of them, man, at this time. That's why, man, life is so, man, it's so precious, man, because, you know, you stepped around greatness and you've done some things and see things and people are growing like that, man, you know, so we still here for a reason, more than the season.
What's the movie about?
I don't want to give too much of it away because we just shot it. Funny with, you know.
Is it a drama? Is it a comedy?
That's kind of one of the differences with music, right? When it's music, I can promote my project. Right. Movies, like I always leave it up to them because it's a film, man. It's an expensive thing to make, so I never want to like, you know what I'm saying? It's like inside baseball until it's out there. But speaking of what you just said, though, like that's, to me, that's like one of the beautiful things about what we've been blessed to do is like, you know, life is short and you never know when it's your time to go. So to put your art out into the world, and to me, it's never it's never been about selling 1 million records or being mega famous or anything like that. But it's leaving like a piece of who I am, what my story is. And these movies, they live forever, man. Like, these are the type of things, like, you know, my son's kids can watch and be like, oh, that's your grandfather. You know what I'm saying?
I already know, I know, right? So, you know, I'm going to tell you, right, too, is when you get those movie roles too, a lot of times first the name is fake. You know what I mean? Because they don't be wanting people to like say, "Oh, I'm in this movie," and then once you do get it, you're basically signing to like not to divulge what this is,
like a non-confidentiality.
Or they can cut you. Yeah, they can cut you out.
I mean, like a confidentiality.
Because the one he did with Brad Pitt was called like Kogan's Trade or something, and then when it came out, it was called Killing Them Softly. That's true, right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, the book was called Kogan's Trade, and initially the film was called that, and then they changed it to Killing Them Softly after that. Okay. That incredible experience doing that one, man.
I bet. That was crazy.
Working with Liotta, rest in peace to Liotta.
Yes.
Still,
beating him up, dude. You saw the movie?
Nah.
He kicks the shit out of Ray Liotta.
Gotta watch the movie.
He got the better role because I had to get beat up by Whitey Bulger. So he was able to beat up Ray. So, hey, here's a funny one too, man. Slaine. So I'm doing that movie. You know, I'm 6'3", you know what I mean? Every bit of 280 something at that point. And and fucking, you know, Johnny Depp playing, he got the little heels on, and he's still like about 5 whatever. And they're like, well, so he's gonna walk up to you and punch you, and then you're gonna drop. This is them saying this shit on the movie theater. I'm like, at the movie set. I'm like, listen, there's no way this little motherfucker is gonna be convincing to come up. I don't care, Whitey, whatever. If anything, Whitey gonna shoot you or whatever. That shit ain't happening. So then they got the pipe wrench and, you know, and boom, bang, bang, bang. But I mean, it was just so funny when they really, that's in the script. This little motherfucker come up to Midget Man, whatever they used to call him, and gonna punch out this big black dude. And that's that. You know how it is.
Movie magic, bro. Movie magic.
Switch it up, man. They went and found, they be finding props quick though. Cause they sure went and found some big ass pipe wrench. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's more, you know.
Yo, but you know, the prop master, they have a truck, especially on a big budget movie like that. Like those, right. I bet you the Whitey movie was a $40 million movie or something, you know? Yeah. They got a truck, and on that truck, they got every kind of prop you could think of, every kind of gun you could think of, every kind of watch you could think of. Like, they have everything.
We've heard your talks about sobriety and your struggles with it, and you've had songs, you know, where you spoke about it, and and now, you know, you're at this point where I just saw something about you getting with some people and creating a clinic, sort of, you know, or you could fill me in more, but
yeah, man. So, you know, like for years before I even started getting on with the music, I mean, a lot of what made my music really resonate with a certain crowd of people was I was writing from the center of the drug epidemic in Boston. Like with the White Man is the Devil mixtape. I mean, that stuff was all centered around using and getting high and all that. And, you know, I had a lot of circumstances happen that gave me this amazing life and touring and all that. But at the end of the day, who I really am is, you know, I'm a rock bottom alcoholic and drug addict. And, you know, I got to the point in 2014 where, you know, there was nothing that would ever wake me up. And, but I got to the point where I knew I was not going to be the father that I should be, and that I was going to lose my relationship with my son. I had supervised visits with him. I couldn't take him in the car. I couldn't have him sleep in my house. And you know, ultimately, like, you know, I broke his heart too. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't showing up and all that. And I had a moment of, speaking of when I met you at Tower Records, I had my moment of truth, man. And it was time, you know, the fork was in the road, and I could either go one way and be that dude, or I could fight for my sobriety. And I chose to do that above everything else. And, you know, 8.5 years later, man, like, you know, I haven't had the need to pick up a drink or a drug. I work a program that keeps me sober, and part of that is helping other people. So, you know, I've done that consistently since I got sober. And then at the beginning of the pandemic, you know, I canceled like 30-something shows, and for the first time in my life, like, I was just home. And what I started doing in that time was going and visiting all these programs and speaking to sober livings, halfway houses, going to different detoxes and rehabs and all that. And, you know, I did the deep dive, and I started working, you know, going down Mass Ave with jackets and clothes and food in the winter and all that. Yeah. And I was presented with this opportunity and linked up with this group of people to open this new place. It's called Charles River Recovery. It's on the Waltham Western Line. It's only 20 minutes from downtown Boston. It's an in-network facility. We're working on having it in-network across the board, which means like we're going to be able to help a lot of people in the community, man. So right now we just had the DEA come through and had a positive visit, which I never thought I would say. You know, like I'm saying, this is the most unlikely shit for me. Like if you told me 10 years ago, like this is what I'd be doing, I'd tell you you're crazy. Yeah. I think anyone else would too. But so we're open right now for clinical stabilization services, and we detox open in the next couple of weeks. So we'll be able to take people in and detox them off of opiates, alcohol, and all that, and then put them in a program. And it's a 30-day program, and then we're working with other providers to be able to step people down into long-term treatment. I've been working with as many people in the recovery community in the Boston area as possible, so that I can find resources for people and all that. And as much as I was using my platform to do that by myself for a while, now I have like a whole team of people with me, man. And it makes it like a lot, because so many people started hitting me up. I started to feel like, fuck, man, like I can't answer 150 emails in a day, you know, in the kind of time that you need, because I'm getting to like the 140th one and somebody's like suicidal. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it requires a team. And now I got a team, and we got like doctors and nurses and therapy and case management, and you know, like it's really kind of I never really saw doing something like this, and just to be a part of it is something that's just beautiful to me.
I mean,
congratulations.
Yeah, congrats are in order, and I respect that even more so because of the help that people needed and struggles I've been through, and just the fact that it does help so many people, because I've seen, like you probably too, lost a lot of people behind that, you know what I mean, close and what have you. And I've even been with you when you were living like that, as far as, you know, getting high and drugging, because that was part of like, you know, performing, and you knew that was part of what you was going to do, drink and get high, whatever it was, and still do your job, you know, so to speak, you know, performing. But I mean, I've always respect that, because it's a hard road, it's a long road. But you know, we're gonna make sure that we put that information out there as well.
We got that
for the center. And I know we got some things to move on, but I just got a couple questions. One, I would like to know you from each era, you know, or however you want to do it. Could you give us 10 MCs, you know, whether they top or just 10 MCs you like you know what I mean? Can you give us 10 of them?
10 MCs that to me are like my favorites?
Yeah. How did you do?
So, I mean, you know, there's always going to be the ones that everyone mentions, and all those guys are great. But I think, like, I'll list some people that I think are usually left out of the top 10 that I think are incredible. And, you know, I'll start with Guru, because you know how much I love Guru.
That's dope, yeah.
And you know, he's never really mentioned, but, you know, when you look at those albums, they're just classic albums, man. He had one of the most distinct voices ever. I put Prodigy up there, too, from Mobb Deep, because he's not mentioned either. And maybe because he wasn't like rippity rap with all the multi-syllabic stuff. He was so stone cold poetic with everything he said. Like he would say something in a way that was different than anyone else said it, and would almost give you chills when you heard him say it. And he had that nasal flow. I love Prodigy. I think Busta Rhymes is so when you see him perform and he just has hit after hit after hit, like you forget how many hits he got. Like he'll do 20, 25, bro. Incredible MC. Who else? Be Real. Be Real is never listed from Cypress Hill. And to me, Be Real, like when you look at the consistency, Cypress Hill is still selling out venues 30 years later. You know, with classic albums and hits. crossed paths with Cypress Hill when we were on a tour in Europe with La Coca a few years back, I guess 2018 now, and stood on the stage, and I was like, God damn, they've been performing for 2 hours. I never even saw Be Real have a sip of water. I drink about 12 waters when I'm on just rocking it. Be Real to me is insane like that. I think, you know, Ill Bill also never gets mentioned, man. Ill Bill is just an incredible lyricist and somebody I've had the pleasure of working a lot with. Who else?
5 more for us.
You know, and then I'd say like some, you know, obviously I put Biggie in mine. I think Jay-Z I would put as the greatest. If hip hop was embodied in one person as the story of hip hop, it's Jay-Z. When you talk about Marcy Projects to the boardrooms to being a billionaire and all that, and you know, he's the American dream. He's the story of hip hop embodied in one person, and he's also the mouthpiece where he can go and talk to any audience, any crowd, and really be a great ambassador for hip hop culture. So I love Jay-Z for that. Of course, all the hits too. I don't know. I guess Cool G Rap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many that is right now. Is that
got
enough?
2 more left. 2 more left. Yeah.
Who did I put in those spots, man?
All right.
I mean, you know, I gotta put some, maybe like, you know, somebody else who never gets mentioned. Nobody has ever sounded like the RZA, and he always gets props for his production, but his lyricism, especially back in the early Wu-Tang stuff and the first couple Wu-Tang albums, and then you talk about producing 7 classic albums in a row. You know, I feel like RZA doesn't get his flowers often enough, and I don't know, man. I guess with the last spot, how can you not go with Rakim? You know, Rakim could be in any top 10 list.
So that's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's the 10 crack commandments. What? We good.
And there's a lot of MCs that I'm leaving out that are super, that have influenced me heavily, that I think are incredible.
We got some random shit real quick, right? Just some random questions, man. Just run it out real quick. So, you got shepherd's pie, pot pie, apple pie. What's your choice?
I like all those pies.
Yo.
Steak man on tour back in the day, because I eat steak every day. Which by the way, I gotta get gallbladder surgery. I shouldn't have ate all that steak shit, but I'll go with the chicken pot pie.
Okay, see, pot pie. Okay, how about fruit cup, fruit basket, or fruit juice?
Fruit cup.
Okay.
But I don't want no cantaloupe in mine, man.
A fruit cup with no cantaloupe. Here's another one.
It's never sweet.
What's the one that you despise the most? A liar, a stupid person, or a silly person?
I like silly people, and stupid people just feel bad for. I think it's the liars. Just tell me the truth, even if it hurts.
Go ahead. What you want to say?
I got a question about being sober. Is it strange to perform like a 99 bottles now?
No, it's empowering. So in the beginning, it was strange to just walk out on stage sober, because I was like, what do I do now? Yeah, you're aware. Yeah, you're aware. Like part of the drinking and the drugs, it makes any kind of fear or anxiety just melt away. So, but it's also a lie that your brain tells yourself, because ultimately, like, I got sharper, clearer, stronger on stage especially the more time I got sober. But doing 99 bottles, I always still end my set with that to this day, because it gives me the opportunity. Because I used to always have a drink before I do that song. I used to slug a beer. I used to slug a pitcher of beer. I used to drink vodka. And now I get to let everybody else have the drink for me. I say, my name is Slaine. I'm an alcoholic. I don't drink anymore. So you have one for me, and I'd still do my old shit. That's still
99.
That's cool. Hell yeah.
I got one more crazy one then. This is it. When you was a kid, did you have a hamster, a guinea pig, or a gerbil?
When I was a kid?
Yes. Or shit, you might have had one. You have any of them shits?
I didn't have none of those.
Yo. Hey, but did you know somebody who had one though?
I had a friend who had an Atari up the street on my block in Dorchester when I was a little kid, and I'd be there banging on the door at 6 a.m. I didn't have cable either.
Yo, I just gave you some random shit, fucking with it, switch it up a little. We threw a curveball in there. We never even asked questions like that, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna ask Slaine these crazy shits real quick, But you got something else you want to say?
Oh, I just wanted to ask him, has your sobriety changed your fan base, or have you seen it grow? Have you seen your sobriety have an impact on your fans?
So I think if anything, my sobriety, because when you have a career that's lasted 20 years, people grow with you, right? So like a lot of my fans who used to drink and get high are sober now too, or they want to be sober. My fan base doesn't usually include anybody who's like 18 years old and partying now, you know what I'm saying? But my fans have grown with me over the course of 2 decades. So all the shit makes sense. It's not that, it also goes in with that 99 bottles question. Nothing I do from the past is inauthentic because that was an integral part of my story, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think if anything, like, my fans have grown with me.
Can you just tell people, Slaine, your socials and stuff, and just so they could, know where they hit out.
I'm active on Facebook, Slaine.official for all the old people. I'm on Instagram, Slaine's World. I just got on TikTok, but I haven't posted too much on that. I think I'm gonna get more active on that. That's also Slaine's World. And yeah, man.
One question from me: favorite producer? Just one. All you need.
I mean, that's easy. That's DJ Premier, man.
DJ Premier, okay.
Primo.
Wow, you shocked me. I thought you would say Muggs. You shocked me.
I mean, Muggs is also one of the greatest of all time.
No, I was just curious. Yeah, I never asked you that. Yeah.
I think it's like MCs. There's who the great ones are. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of taste. Like, Muggs has made some of my favorite joints of all time. Talk about the Cypress records and House of Pain records. I grew up on those. They inspired me to do this. And but to me, like, Premier also was just like, he was there that day. I was at Tower Records when I told you I'm going to work.
We'll have to have Slaine back. Question. He's a friend of the show.
Yo, and can I get my Tebow money, man?
You what?
Can I get my Tebow money, man? You forgot that one.
Which one?
Yo, remember we was on tour and you was like, I'm fucking with you, but we was on tour and me and you had a disagreement because you was like, Tim Tebow ain't getting picked in the first round. And I was like, yes, he is. So we bet $100. But he didn't get picked till like the last pick, if you remember, right? It was the last one, so I snuck in there. And so they was like, all right.
He didn't get drafted, did he?
No, he did. Remember? The first round, he was the last pick. So you was winning. And then
I'm gonna do the research on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Zona del peligro.
I'll pay you that. I'm not a Welshman.
No. Hey, but you remember that though? You're gonna see I think he was the 32nd pick. Yeah, because then you was like, he just got in there. So how about I pay you 50? It was some shit like that. Cause remember, hey, yo, I'm telling you, Slaine, because I was like, oh shit, I ain't gonna win this. Cause yo, he was the last one.
That's
so
funny.
I was like, oh shit, Tebow got in there. And you was like, oh, right? Because we was playing Madden. We was talking sports, football, man, all that shit. But go ahead, do the research for real though.
Yeah, I'll send you that 100. You got Venmo? I'll send you that.
Yeah, but it's bad funny though, because
I do remember that now. So if you get drafted in the first round, I'll happily send you that 100.
Hey, yo, you know what? It's funny too, because remember one of the best, what do you call that when you watch the movie premiere party or a rap party, whatever? When we saw the town at Fenway, Fenway, and that was dope because you had popcorns popcorn and hot dogs. Like it was like you at a baseball game. And,
but the movie ends there, so it's kind of dope.
Yeah, so the theater's up. I mean, the whole screen's up.
He was the 25th pick in the first round.
The 25th. Damn, he was the 25th. You know what I'm saying?
2010.
But Slaine, listen. Thanks for stopping by, my man.
Hell yeah.
Yo.
He ended up being a bum anyway.
I know, right? So it don't count. I'm gonna pay you an EBT. But hey, but on some shit though, right? But I mean, we appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
For coming to Danger Zone Podcast, episode 26.
And
listen.
Yeah, it was cool. It's cool to have.
I'm gonna be in touch. You know, we were speaking. You know what I mean? But 100%, like real. So I know you gotta do something. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yes.
Good to see you. Great, man.
Let's do another video soon, man.
You'll be listening. You'll be hearing from, you know what I'm saying? All love always, man. My man. All right?
Peace, bro.
Later, man. Yes, sir.
He was like, I didn't go to my friend's house and play no hamsters. I went to play Space Invaders.
It was motherfuckers from South here. They motherfuckers that have hamsters. Guinea pigs, gerbils. Them were the easiest shits to go to the store and get. Now you can get them.
Okay, do you want me to play?
Slaine, that was amazing. But it is that time of the week.
Very good friend of the show.
Who is stupid as hell? Hey, I did 10 videos for Slaine. You should check them all out right now.
Listen.
That's why we gotta have a part 2.
This week, now I had another stupid as hell, because you know something, one thing about when you're stupid, I'll find you.
Okay.
So we got a whole bunch of
He's
stupid.
Looking for you.
It's a stupid is all over you. I mean, it is what it is, man. You can't erase stupid. But anyway, so this week, after filing for divorce in 2020, Kristen Cavallari wanted Jay Cutler to give her $5 million so she could buy a new mansion. In response, Jay Cutler said, cut off the assets, cut off the bank accounts, and he said, get a job.
Oh, wow.
So, it's very short this week, but the reason why I chose that is because Kristen Cavallari and any of those women, because there's a lot of women like that, if it's not, when it's over, it's over. You know what I'm saying? If you had no prenup or whatever. But you are stupid as hell to think that even the judges ain't giving you that $5 million to buy a mansion. And you know she said this shit. I mean, that's just what this world is.
That's
you know what I mean? So, this week, I salute Jay Cutler. But his ex-wife, Kristen Cavallari, stupid as hell. $5 million. Fucking mansion. Because you're breaking up.
Move to fucking Atlanta and buy one for $300,000.
He said get a job. That's the dopest part. Why don't you get a job? I gave you that million and whatever, you get a job.
You'll get 5 million jobs. Leave me alone. That was dope, man. Shout out to Slaine.
Great
Chef Tanya.
Show. Shout out to y'all for tuning in. As I always say, excuses have no purpose, so don't make them.
Don't make them.
And when we grow, we glow. That's all of us together. So, come on through, man. And tell your friends, and listen, binge watch these shits, man. They up there, man.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
On my dark days, I chopped crack on a regular. Ran up in spots and clapped on a regular. Took big fat ass stacks from the register. No matter how hard they tried, they still couldn't measure the hard I have. You juke when I stab. Grands in my pocket and still caught a cab.